Hey there, everybody. Welcome. I'm Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, your host every week for the Night Sky this week for October 3rd, 2022. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. Starting off another new week. Great stuff in the night sky as usual. I'm broadcasting from Montreal, Canada. Welcome to everyone on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you are on platform. It's great to have you. I'm always happy to see my friends here. My comments are open on all the platforms. I love hearing you. Please put in your comments in there, where you're watching from, joining me today. I see Kathy there. I see Suna and Whittle as well. Very nice. Cooling down in Carolina mountains. Hey, wow. Okay. So yeah, autumn weather in the Northern Hemisphere, it is coming. I'm in Montreal, Canada, and that's about 6 hours drive north of New York City, just so that you have a kind of an idea of where that is. And it's beautiful. It's sunny, green leaves a lot of places, but it's starting to turn the leaves. So I know it's getting cool, but it is nice for stargazing. I absolutely love this time. September, October, it's just a great time to start because in my part of the world, it gets very humid in the summer and there's a lot of haze at night. Also, the nights are very, very short. I have to stay up super late and you don't get too many hours of sky watching. You'd have to really be a night owl. Totally during the summer because they're so short here, the nights. But now the nights are getting longer. By around 7 o'clock in the evening, 8 o'clock at night, you get some really nice sky watching time. And I don't know if you saw, but I posted yesterday Jupiter. I don't know. Have you seen Jupiter? Jupiter just passed opposition last week. Let me know in the comments if you have seen Jupiter. It looks like a brilliant, bright star, white colored, creamy colored star rising in the east southeast soon after the sun sets, and it just dominates the southern skies right throughout the overnight period, and then sets in the west as the sun rises in the east in the morning. So really is just an overnight beacon. Jupiter is. And so I've got that lined up. And why don't we just see where everything is in the sky right now? As of Monday, October 3rd, here is our sky. Check this out. Look at this. Look what we've got here. We've got a beautiful moon heading towards the full moon phase this coming up weekend. So you're going to see the parade of objects that the moon passes by. And it's a great way to really get introduced to the night sky and just have fun, even if you're in an urban setting. You're, let's say, stuck in the city or in a high rise. Maybe you're downtown or something, and you only got bits and pieces of the sky that you can see, and there's tons of light pollution. That is okay. It doesn't mean you can't do sky watching. You just have to know where and when, and make sure you get a spot where you can see clearly towards a specific direction of the sky. So, tonight, for instance, on Monday, October 3rd, you've got in the southern sky the waxing gibbous moon. It just passed the quarter moon phase. You can see this is what it looks like if you look at it up close in the skies. This is at sunset tonight. Maybe it's already evening where you are. For me, it's a few hours still away. But if I make the skies a little darker, you'll see some other things stand out. Some of the stars beginning to stand out. That's Sagittarius, the teapot right there. If I make it a little bit darker, you'll see what I mean. Look at that. There's Sagittarius, one of the zodiacal constellation that is now setting in the south. The moon is just off to the left of it. There's basically a giant teapot configuration that you can see here. This is something maybe with binoculars you'll have a better view. You see this haze over here on the right hand? I'm pointing with my mouse there. That is the Milky Way. In fact, that's the center of our Milky Way galaxy, spiral galaxy. And September and early October is still pretty good to be able to see this part of the sky. And the moon is just going to be the left of this giant teapot. There's the lid, the lid of the teapot. The spout is here, these three stars here. And the handle of the teapot is right over here. That is the handle of the teapot. So that is just to the right of it. And this is just after sunset. And this is set around 7:30 p.m. my time. I'm at 45-degree latitude, halfway between the North Pole and the equator. I'm almost exactly halfway mark where I am located here in Montreal, Canada. But it gives you a good general view. If you're, vast swaths of human population is in the northern hemisphere are centered around that 40 to 50 degree latitude. And this kind of gives you an idea of what you can see. It might be a little bit higher, might be a little bit lower, some of these things that I'm talking about for where you are, as opposed to what I'm showing you here. Mary Tim is saying, I love watching the teapot and the Milky Way. It's so beautiful, isn't it? I mean, I agree. I mean, it is. It's to see the Milky Way is a fantastic thing. And this time of the year in the Northern Hemisphere is really good. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's riding high above in the overhead skies at late night. So that's something that you can see in the springtime where you are in the Southern Hemisphere. It's way above. For us now, really the center of the Milky Way is really kind of the last bit of summer watching that we can do here in the Northern Hemisphere. Before that, this whole area with where Sagittarius is going to be dipping down below the horizon. So something worth looking at. Jeffrey says, I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Exactly. Easy to remember. It's something that is neat. But what I wanted to show is to the left of the moon, you'll have, this is again October 3rd, you'll have Saturn, and then way in the east, rising, as I said, this is the real beacon, you can't miss it, is Jupiter. Jupiter is like a brilliant star. You might have seen it already. If you take a walk or you're driving and you're looking towards the east, this is quite spectacular. It is at its best. Jupiter, it just passed opposition, meaning that it is biggest and brightest in our skies. It's about 593 million kilometers away, Jupiter is. But despite that vast distance, we can see details. With binoculars, if I zoom in on Jupiter right now, here we go. Look at this. If I zoom in, make it a little darker. You know what? Let me just make this darker because I'll zoom out here. Make it easier for me. There we go. So this is about, I would say, near 8 o'clock at night. Then it's dark enough for with binoculars, you'll be able to see some of the moons of Jupiter. In this case, you can clearly see Ganymede off to the left. So if you're watching through binoculars, Ganymede is the brightest of the 4 Galilean moons, and it'll be very evident as a dot to the left of the disk of Jupiter. If you have a telescope, however, Jupiter really becomes quite interesting because you can see those bands of clouds, these dark brownish bands on either side of the equator of Jupiter. And they're very evident. These are the easiest features to see on the surface of Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter is a gas giant, right? So there's no hard surface that we're looking at. We're looking at the cloud tops, and they're very reflective to us here on Earth. The sunlight reflects off of it. It takes about 38 minutes for the light to reach your eye from Jupiter, and it's shining just brilliant. And so with a telescope, even a small telescope, you'll get to see a lot. So I really like that. Getting a comment. Jack is saying he noticed that it's really amazing. Jupiter is putting on a show last night. Yeah, I did. If you saw my picture I posted on Facebook and Twitter, on Instagram, check it out, with one of my neighbors' houses, and you can see that point of light very brilliant in the sky. That was taken just with my phone while I was walking. Just fantastic stuff. And KJ is saying it's finally getting dark enough at night in Alaska to enjoy the stars. Exactly, right. We're heading into that time. So if you're in a higher latitude in the north, finally we're getting some skies to do some star watching where it's dark enough. So fantastic stuff. Hopefully you'll get to see some good stuff there. Parth from India, hello, nice to see you. So here we are, we're zooming out. We've got our entire sky there. This again is Monday, but what I want to show you now is watch that moon here. So I'm going to move off here. Let me get this comment out so we can see everything. And if I skip to Tuesday, look at this. Do you see that the moon is now getting close to Saturn? So if you wondered where Saturn is and maybe you haven't seen it through a telescope, wow, the moon is a great guidepost. And it just looks so beautiful when the moon and Saturn are together. Look at that. So this is Wednesday. So we're Wednesday, October 5th is when you see these two beautiful things together. And this is Thursday. Look at that. Thursday, October 6th. The moon is now sandwiched between these two gas giant worlds, Jupiter and Saturn. So that's Thursday night. And then Friday, check this out. The moon is approaching that beautiful, this to me is incredible. We're very close to a full moon. The full moon will be happening on Sunday. And look at that. By Saturday night, just on the eve of the full moon, I'm going to zoom in. This is just a gorgeous sight. So we're very close, only a few hours away from what is a full moon that will happen on Sunday, October 9th. But look at that pairing. So don't miss this. Circle this on your calendar on October 8th, Saturday night. This is what you'll see as darkness falls, looking towards the east. It's, I think, the best view of the week. And then on Sunday, the moon will be farther away and it'll be a full moon. And this will be what we call a hunter's moon. So traditionally, according to the Farmer's Almanac in North America, this was the time traditionally when big game hunting came in the fall, deer hunting and such. And so traditionally, that is the moon. October is named the hunter's moon. So that is happening. The full moon of October is on October 9th, this Sunday. And you can see there'll be a wide pairing between the moon and Jupiter. Really beautiful. Jupiter is so bright, and it's in the constellation Pisces, that zodiacal constellation where this pairing will be happening again in the east in the early evening. Now, those of you that are in the early birds that like to get up in the morning, look at the morning in the east. You'll have little Mercury. Mercury is the innermost planet in the solar system. Difficult to see because it's usually not far away from sunlight. And look at this. If we look at it where it is in the orbit, right now Mercury is far enough away from the sun from our vantage point to be able to pick it out in the sky. So if I zoom out, let me just zoom out here somehow. Let me see. Here we go. So we're going to move away. There's the Milky Way in the background. There's the orbit of Mercury. There's Venus and the sun coming in. Check this out. So, and I'll zoom out a little bit more. We're above the plane of the solar system. There's Earth. So there's Mars, right? There's Earth. There's the sun. There's Mercury and Venus. And if we look at it from our vantage point, if I kind of zoom and think you're on this little blue marble here, and you can see, if I zoom in, there we go. Do you see from our vantage point, Mercury is as far as it can get in its orbit from the sun, from our vantage point. And this is why we can see Mercury at its best in the morning skies for the entire year. This is the best to see the inner planet. It is not the brightest planet, but it is the most challenging of the naked eye planets. You can see this with the naked eye, the innermost planet. And it's amazing to think that it's right now, Mercury is 460 million kilometers away. It takes 24 minutes for the light to get here. It's incredible to think that we can see little Mercury from Earth. And this, if we go back to the skies, there we are. Above the eastern skies, there's Mercury. And if you look far enough above Mercury, there's a little blue star called Regulus. That's the heart of Leo the lion. That's usually a springtime constellation, but you can still see that bright star in the early morning skies. So little Mercury right there, early morning. I would suggest about a half hour before sunrise. Let me set that up here for you guys. This is sunrise right there. And if we do, let's say, an hour, what does it look like? There, that's an hour before sunrise. So already dark enough, you should be able to say, if you have a clear view towards the east, low eastern horizon, there's little Mercury. And over the course of the hour before the sun rises, this is about a half hour before sunrise. See, there's Mercury in, you can see a little bit of the depiction of Virgo, the maiden. That's where Mercury is in the constellation Virgo. In the east, early birds, this is what you get to see. So hopefully that's something you can get a good view of in the early morning skies. Guys, there you go. Some fun stuff for you guys to see this week. The moon is a fantastic object to really guide you to different places. In this case, you get to see Jupiter, Saturn. Don't forget to take a look at the Milky Way with the teapot configuration. That's something cool as well. And then little Mercury. If you're willing to get up early in the morning, an hour before sunrise, find a spot that's very clear towards the east. You have a really good chance of spotting with the naked eye. And that's the most challenging of the 5 classical naked eye planets, right? That's what those are, right? There's Mercury, of course. There's Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Those are classical naked eye planets, meaning that ancient people saw this. They were recognized by the ancient Greeks, Romans, ancient Chinese astronomers saw this. Around the world, many, many cultures recognize these. And so we get to see them still with the naked eye, even under light polluted conditions, you can see them. And if you're having a problem, break out those binoculars. Bring the binoculars. They'll help you tremendously in pinning down these planets in your skies. So with that, of course, if you're interested in, seeing more things and you're interested in it, pick up my book. My book's The Backyard Guide to the Night Sky. It's available wherever good books are sold. It's out by National Geographic. It's chock full of all my best tips and tricks on what you can see in the night sky, how to see it. It's small enough to fit in a suitcase, to take it places, in your backpack. And it's got great ways of navigating the night sky, how to choose things. So maybe if you're inside and you're trying to figure out what to do for your hobby, how to progress, this is a great beginner's guide to show you all the bits and pieces of what the hobby really entails today. It's a lot of fun, I have to tell you. So you don't want to miss it. It's on Amazon. It's actually, thanks to you guys, it's still ranked as one of the best-selling stargazing astronomy guidebooks anywhere. And I want to thank you very much for that. It's because of your support, and it encourages me to continue giving all my tips and tricks out to you, like in these videos. If you do like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or on YouTube that you're watching. I love to see you here, and I'll be posting more videos and, of course, more sky charts throughout the week. And if there's anything you have questions on, just feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Until next time, I wish all of you guys, you know what, clear skies. Bye-bye.